From the director of The Coffee Table comes a dark comedy about God, humanity, and the end of the world. What if you were able to meet God? And, well, he's kind of a dick. And he told you the end of the world was coming. What would you do? Well, this one's called Killing God. Let's check it out. So clearly you're here because The Coffee Table. And if you haven't seen my review of The Coffee Table, which is 100% spoiler-free, then you should check that out first here. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of a movie called Killing God, also known as Matar a Dios, which is directed by Calle Casas and Albert Pinto, who did the movie Nowhere. It was on Netflix, and quite a few of my friends actually were raving about it. He's done many other films, of course, but the two of these guys together have made a pretty fun dark comedy here. So what is Killing God all about? Well, it's about killing God. Okay, so there's a little more to it than that. It's a story about God, okay, physically visiting four people. He tells them that the world is going to end and all of humanity is going to stop. These four people are given a task, and if they don't complete it, that's it. But these are pretty flawed individuals. In fact, I feel like Calle Casas really likes flawed characters that do things terribly wrong. And I think that's because he knows that we are just flawed beings. And what better way to make that point than to say God is flawed? I mean, he did create us in his own image, right? Obviously, a lot of people are going to be wondering, is this going to be as intense and as insane as The Coffee Table? This is a different brand of suspense and comedy. It is a dark comedy that I think people will still enjoy, but it is not the same as The Coffee Table. There are some elements in here that you will definitely appreciate. Some of the same cast even comes back. There's like 3 actors from The Coffee Table in this movie. There's a husband, a wife, a brother, a father, and they all are meeting up for New Year's Eve to celebrate in a very quiet setting. And guess who comes a knocking at their door? God himself. Or is it? The way that it was written is very much in the same vein that The Coffee Table is. Both Albert and Calle Casas wrote this, so they were a team collaborative effort, but you can still see the hints of The Coffee Table. And I think Albert also has a little bit of a dark sense of humor as well. There is a very sharp, clever style about the way that they write these characters. You know, they don't really hide all of their flaws or anything. And there is some of that sort of tug and pull over situations that the characters are trying to get out of the other characters. So it's this dynamic that really kind of feels a little bit of that tension, but also just sort of more funny, more on the nose comedy than say something like Coffee Table, which probably has a more particular flavor. This one definitely has its dark characters. These are very flawed individuals who have done poor things in their lives. They talk about these poor things openly with each other, and then this character of God shows up at the door and just complicates things even more. It does definitely have some gore in this movie. It also is more of a character sort of style movie, so you're going to be stuck in one place with a group of characters that are put in a really awkward situation with trying to stop the end of the world, and it is a lot of fun. The character that plays God is a very dirty, unsavory, unpleasant man, and the family who is around it is also kind of like sweet, but also not. They're not innocent people by far. And they don't even understand why they're tasked with this certain task that they're given. It's sort of an ironic style humor, brash and sort of abrasive at times with some of the dialogue between the characters. They don't, you know, shy away from talking about some of the darker things. There is some moments in the film where they talk about sex and race, but none of it is, you know, anything to worry about. This is exactly how human beings act when you put them in a situation like this, especially flawed ones like this. So if you've ever seen the movie 4 Rooms, which has this sort of dark anthology stories, they all sort of are funny and fun and dark in one thing, but I feel like the tone of those is very similar to the tone in this film. But yeah, it's got that style of humor mixed into here that's a little darker, a little more brash, and I think you'll enjoy it. By the end of the movie, it is a really interesting kind of end that I think is really fun, and I think it really works for this movie. It's shot well, it looks great, the performances are great, the acting is good, the writing is fantastic, the set is amazing, you know, the characters are amazing, like everything is really firing on all cylinders here, so I really think that you'll enjoy it. It's not like an indie, but it is an indie. It's just a really nice looking indie that, you know, doesn't feel like it has any flaws, whatever. So I'm super excited to see what Albert Pinto has done. I'll probably watch Nowhere, and I'm probably going to be super excited to see what Calle Casas does next. How is he going to top the coffee table? And is he even going to attempt it? Because I feel like those are some pretty big shoes to fill. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time. I love this sort of cat and mouse thing. The intro of the movie is like a hook, and it just grabs you and you're just like, okay, what is this all about? You're also going to enjoy the like sort of ambiguity behind the whole thing. It's just one of those movies that is very unique. This movie does so much with just so little. And it's a really inspiring movie for people who are trying to write, that you don't have to be boring with just a simple situation and a simple story. You can make it interesting and spice it up without adding like a shit ton of practical effects or some like insane budget. These guys were working well within their means, and they made it an interesting, fun, and really unique story that I think you should check out. I rented it. It was $1.99. I wanted to see it really bad because I thought it'd be a really good movie for you guys to see what this director's like. Because I think of all the people who've been writing me and thanking me, I think everyone's a little curious about Calle Casas and like what he's gonna do. Now, this isn't just him. Like I said, this is Albert Pinto, who is also a really fantastic director and a writer, and I think you will enjoy it. I think you'll see the good stuff that you saw in The Coffee Table mirrored here, but also something that's a little bit of a different flavor for you. I would give this one like a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. Like, honestly, I really think it's an 8 out of 10. I would definitely rewatch this movie easily. I think it would be a fun one to watch with people. It does get kind of graphic and disturbing a little bit, but it's mostly really kind of doing so much with so little. And I don't mean that in an indie sense. This feels like a very large budget film. Like, I felt like I was watching an Alex de la Iglesia film, but this one has almost better dialogue. Don't get me wrong, Alex de la Iglesia has some good dialogue, but he tends to kind of run on with some of his storytelling, and this one's a little bit more tight and compact, but it feels very much like the 4 Rooms anthology, which is a fantastic movie that you should check out. Hope this gives you guys an idea. If you want to rent it, you can do it now on Amazon for $1.99. Check it out. I think you might like it, but just understand this isn't the intensity of The Coffee Table. This is something different. If you like comedies and you like dark stories that have a twist in them, multiple twists really, then I think you'll appreciate this one. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and that little bell notification to let you know when I got a brand new video. We got a whole lot more movies coming for you guys, so stay tuned, and as always, long live the void.